What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today, we're going to be dissecting, discussing, analyzing everything on the official appointment of Hansi Flick that was confirmed yesterday. A new era at Barcelona begins, and it's under German manager and Laporta's fifth head coach, if I'm not mistaken, as the president of Barcelona during both his tenure. We have so much news to discuss. We're going to give you guys updates on the signing day yesterday, some codes, some insider information. Then we're going to go through all the news that has been building up about Hansi Flick over the past week and a half, because that gives you a great insight on what we should expect from him and also the board during this summer transfer window. Lots to get into, lots of information and details, so make sure you drop a like and of course subscribe down below if you haven't already. And let's get cracking lacking. Of course, as you can see on the screen here, the four main men, Rafael Uste, Joan Laporta, Hansi Flick, and Deco there after the signing of the contracts. Yesterday, officially, the club announced that Hansi Flick is the new manager of Barcelona, and they've reached an agreement for the German coach to take charge of the coaching of the men's first team until June the 30th, 2026. The new coach, of course, signed his contract yesterday alongside Laporta, the vice president Rafael Uste, and of course, Deco as well. Now, in terms of his salary, Jordi Gil from Sport came out saying that Hansi Flick's salary at Barcelona will be 3 million gross. So that's 1.5 net in Spain, of course, but there is two important clauses in his contract. He will receive a €1 million bonus if he wins the Champions League during his time, and he will earn 750,000 if he wins La Liga. And starting from today, Hansi Flick will hold concrete talks about the squad and potential new signings with Deco. I believe what the plan is that from now until probably end of June, Hansi Flick is going back to Germany. He's going to stay there. He's going to probably plan with the squad over, Zoom or conference call with Joan Laporta. I think this is a hope here, but I'm also assuming he'll probably start to integrate around Barcelona around mid-June, try and move there, get integrated to the city, stuff like that. He did spend, of course, the last 2 days in the city. He was doing a lot of promotional stuff for the media for Barcelona, which, by the way, has been freaking cringy as hell. The media team at Barcelona, I've been complaining about them for years. They make content for about 5 to 7 year olds. Make something gender neutral, like bloody hell. Make them draw on TikTok and do all this weird stuff. Anyways, we do have the first quotes of Hansi Flick. The only quotes we do have of him as the Barcelona manager has been on this 2-minute quick, introduction from Barca 1. Also, keep in mind that Hansi Flick is speaking to Deco, Laporta, Uste, all in English as well. If you watch the Barcelona, presentation video on their YouTube channel, you can hear him talking in English with Deco and Laporta. So that's something to keep in mind as well. It's going to be weird seeing Hansi Flick, seeing the first team manager of Barcelona doing press conferences probably in English for the first few months. Hopefully he'll do it in Spanish or Catalan in the near future, but at least I would say for the first half season minimum, he'll probably be doing it all in English. I doubt he'll be doing it in German, because at least in English, the journalists kind of have the understanding of that in Catalonia. Anyways, his first quote as a manager, these are big, by the way. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who's included. Yes, it's a big honor and also a dream for me to sign a contract here to work for this club, this amazing club, and I'm happy to start. The club is unbelievable. The hours I'm here is amazing because everyone here loves the club and are trying their best for success. The philosophy they have here is similar to mine: hold possession and play really attacking football. There are things I love. Yeah, we're all working on that. Barcelona has one of the best academies in the world, and they have a good mix between experience and young players. I think we have to improve, of course. This is my job together with Deco and the president Laporta. It's very important for me to have some teamwork. Yeah, we need to be together about that and care about what we are focused on. Yeah, I'm really happy to do this with these guys. I won some titles, of course, with Bayern Munich, and my hunger for titles is very big. I would like to stay on this path with Barcelona. I think we can achieve a lot together. This is an important thing. Hola culés, I really like to start this journey with you, and for me it's very important that you support us. It's a big thing also for the team. Together we can achieve a lot with an amazing team, and yeah, Vizca Barca. So few things here. Number one, highlights the academy, which of course is important, but also, is that PR? Is that not PR? Secondly, highlighting the team. The reason why Xavi got sacked was he showed a little bit of doubt in that pre-match press conference against Almeria. He's back in the team here. The squad is good, young players, experience. They're more than capable enough of competing. And this worries me a little bit. I'm very worried now that Barcelona maybe lackluster a little bit in the transfer window. Again, this team is good. We know this. We know that last season it had a lot to do with individual mistakes, but there are, I'd say, 2 to 3 holes in this team. You patch up those holes this summer, you go for it next season. And you know what? After that, it's on the managers, on Laporta. You can't really blame, the sporting sector, Deco, for, so to speak, because these holes have to be patched this summer. Now, that's Hansi Flick's first words. Again, I'm a bit worried about him really back in this team. I'm quite worried now about the summer transfer window. We'll talk about transfers later on. Actually, we can talk about them now. So here's all the news that's come out before Hansi Flick's announcement yesterday, because I think this news is very important in regards to build up what the Hansi Flick sees in the squad and how the club see Hansi Flick as well, all pre-appointment. Now, firstly, Fabrizio Romano came out saying that Flick wants to bring back the positive atmosphere. He believes there's a huge quality of players. He likes the young talent too as well. Flick feels Barcelona is a super club where you can do something historic. He was obsessed to join Barcelona. That is the key there. Hansi Flick only wanted Barcelona. He's obsessed, blah, blah, blah. Ben Aid also came out saying, you can't imagine Hansi Flick's enthusiasm for coaching Barcelona. What I have received, the information, is something so big. So again, you have the media hype and you also have the hype around Hansi Flick dreaming about Barcelona. Now, Mateo Merito came out saying that what could change after Hansi Flick's arrival in the situation of some youngsters, above all Victor Roque. One of the big issues that Laporta had with Xavi's management of his treatment with certain players, with Roque being among them. So again, now the Victor Roque situation is changing. Fabrizio Romano also came out saying that the feeling within Barcelona is that Victor Roque situation could now completely be different with Hansi Flick's arrival. The board and Flick have already discussed this, and it may be a totally different topic now as compared to before. So Flick and Barcelona spoke about Victor Roque before he became the manager. So keep your eyes on him, of course, during pre-season. But of course, there are some key decisions that are imminent that Hansi Flick will have to decide on. Fabrizio Romano came out saying that now the arrival of Hansi Flick, the situation Sergio Roberto's renewal, and Guido Rodriguez's potential signing next season will have to be reassessed. Both deals have been agreed and ready to be signed, but they will have to be discussed again with Flick before approval. No reports yet on Guido, but on Roberto si queda. I'll talk about that in the next transfer video. Romano was also asked about, Kimmich and Barcelona links. Of course, those are going to be all over the place now, especially with Hansi Flick coming in. And Romano said that Deco and Flick have not discussed targets. Yes, this will be done in the next few weeks. Kimmich is appreciated by Flick because he knows him well. But before discussing targets, Barcelona needs to fully understand their financial fair play situation. So again, no talks yet have started in terms of planning for between Hansi Flick and Deco. But you're probably starting to hear these rumors over the next few weeks. Again, Xavi wanted Kimmich before Hansi Flick even arrived. So he's been a target for Barcelona now for, I'd say, about a year and a bit. So we're no stranger to this per se. Now, in regards to his coaching staff, of course, in my Here We Go confirmed Hansi Flick video a few days ago, we talked about Toni Tapalakovic and Marcus Sor coming in as the assistant coaches for Hansi Flick. Now, Toni Tapalakovic was actually a goalkeeping coach, but he's actually coming in as an assistant to Hansi Flick and not as a goalkeeping coach. And Fernando Polo from Deportivo came out saying that Toni Tapalakovic, who's Bayern Munich's former goalkeeping coach for about a decade, will join Flick at Barcelona. He's, however, expected to function as a tactical assistant, so, like an actual assistant instead of a goalkeeping coach, because De La Fuente, the current goalkeeper coach of Barcelona, is expected to continue. He's highly trusted by Ter Stegen. That is the biggest red flag I have seen in my life. We brought in now one of the best goalkeeping coaches in the world. What he's done with Neuer and also Ulreich during his time at Bayern Munich, even Jan Sommer for that 6-month spell that he had for them. I think he was there after that actually, but what he did with the German national team as well. And Ter Stegen is out here riding or dying with De La Fuente. I tell you what, De La Fuente has been in the club for so long, and I don't know. I just see this as a massive red flag. But hopefully, Tony can go in there and, give his recommendations and stuff like that. We'll see how things turn out in that regard. But a part of Xavi's coaching staff, of course, De La Fuente will stay. Keep in mind, he's always been in the club under Luis Enrique, even Tata Martino, Coleman, Quique Setién, Ernesto Valverde. He's always been there, right? So he's not really part of the coaching staff per se. He kind of have his own department with the goalkeepers because Ter Stegen and him have an excellent relationship. I remember Ter Stegen's renewal, the one before Bartomeu, he made it very clear that he wanted De La Fuente to stay for him to sign. So there you go. We'll see how things turn out in that regards. Now, of course, Hansi Flick, we talked about the two assistants in Tony and Marcus as well, but there could be someone else coming in as experience. As we all know, Hansi Flick cannot speak Spanish, but keep in mind, by the way, this is very important. Most of the Barcelona squad, I would say, according to what I've seen and also what I've heard, over 90% of the squad can speak and understand English at a good level. Of course, you're in Spain, you're in, Spanish culture, you want to speak the language. It's like, going in Germany and having the whole squad speaking English. It's a bit weird in that sense. Again, the whole squad can speak Spanish, but their English you wouldn't say is, top tier, but they can definitely understand and interpret that. But maybe someone coming in to help the, flow be more strong could be an asset. Now, Roger Toledo from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that alongside his technical assistants, of course, Antonio and Marcus, Hansi Flick sees a liaison fluent in German and Spanish with top-level football experience possible. Candidates include Thiago Alcantara, Marc Bartra, of course, both La Masia products and had experience in Bundesliga, Xavi Martinez, who played under Flick and now is in Qatar, Ivan Rakitic is currently in Saudi Arabia League, and he's also under consideration as he speaks fluent German. Now, Martina Rito came out starting this whole down, saying that no information from my end around rumors suggesting that Barcelona want another assistant with Flick's team to act as a language bridge. Rakitic coming in is definitely impossible, and even Dominic Torrent is very unlikely. I thought Dominic Torrent was a very, very likely option. Of course, we heard about him about 2 months ago when Xavi didn't look like he was staying and Flick was getting a lot of momentum. I think Dominic Torrent coming in, he knows the philosophy of Barcelona. He's worked under Pep. Coming in, of course, as that, language liaison as well could be a great asset. But with these former players, I've seen enough of this. I think Rakitic coming in with, he's played with the majority of the squad. I would stay clear. Marc Bartra, he's come to the academy. He was a decent center back. Thiago Alcantara, of course, now a free agent. I think this is something that you want. I think if you have success for the upcoming season, this is something that you can add for the following season after that. But again, I wouldn't see it as an absolute necessity, but they bring someone in, to be honest, I wouldn't be, totally against it, so to speak. Now, following the future of Flick, the imminent future, Fernando Porto from Deportivo came out saying there is currently no press conference being scheduled under Hansi Flick before speaking with the Catalan press. He wants to fully understand the club's sporting direction and economic situation. So of course, we talked about the quotes from Hansi Flick a few minutes ago. We will not hear Hansi Flick speak again until preseason. So he's got a month now to chill, understand the philosophy, of course, the economic situation, and get some targets in, get some signs in. Maybe if we sign someone, we might hear a little bit of quotes here and there about the player, but no press conference, no, presentation for Flick until preseason hits. Now, Alex Pentel from Relevo also came out saying that Hansi Flick met with Pep Guardiola 3 months ago in Manchester and asked him about Barcelona. The two talked about the club and their football ideas. Oh my god, Pep talked to Hansi. I hate how the media leech onto this stuff about Pep. Look, love Pep to death, man, but bloody hell, I need to let this go. If I go and talk to Pep, does that mean I can become the Barcelona manager? If so, I might just kidnap Pep, speak to him, and go to Laporta. Hey, I talked to Pep. I know everything. Anyways, Fabrizio Romano also came out again saying that Hansi Flick is really buzzing. He really cannot wait for the opportunity with Barcelona. Everything's set to be completed, of course, this week. Has been completed. Hansi Flick will be the new Barcelona coach, and he will have, imminent conversations with the club, with Laporta and Deco, to understand what kind of project to do this summer transfer window, starting with Roberto's renewal, the situation with Rodriguez. Now, another red flag here for me. Of course, the first red flag was Hansi Flick glazing the squad, his first interview as a Barcelona coach. Second thing, you've seen now both Fernando Polo and Fabrizio Romano come out saying this. Hansi Flick is really signing up here with not knowing anything. He doesn't know the situation of the club. He doesn't know who he can sign. Doesn't know the current state of the squad. He's just signing. For me, it looks like he's just taking this job purely on vibes and that he wants to get back in the management. Of course, Barcelona is a massive job. He's coming in here empty-handed. He knows nothing about the situation. He knows nothing about the project. Nothing about the economic side of it as well. He's really coming in empty-handed, which is a bit concerning in my opinion. So keep that in mind as we do proceed. Again, Ben Aid also came out confirming what Romano said as well, saying that Hansi Flick will begin handling all the open cases in the first team with the administration immediately after the signing, especially with the future of some players as well that now have doubts about the continuity. Roberto renewal, but one of those cases. Again, Roberto, si queda. I will talk about that in the next video. But one of the big cases, of course, is the cases of the Joaos. Fabrizio Romano came out saying that Barcelona's board will welcome Hansi Flick in the city and will start meetings to discuss, of course, players, blah, 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 blah. Cancelo and Felix, what I say of Barcelona, but it depends now on the decision of the new manager. So keep your eyes on that, of course. He will have some sort of input. I think Barcelona do want to keep them both on a cheap deal, but if Hansi Flick says no, it might push them away. But if he says yes, might push us, towards those signings. Now, also, Alex Pentel from Relevo came out saying that Lewandowski, Ter Stegen, and Gundogan will have very important roles under Hansi Flick. These three names, lads, I'll tell you this, these three names have been being glazed in the media. Of course, Lewandowski, former player under Hansi Flick, Gundogan as well, Ter Stegen as well. All three of them speak German. Listen, these three players are going to be so integral, not only for on the pitch in terms of the Barcelona's team, integration, communication, behind the scenes. They're going to be absolutely massive. I'll talk about Lewandowski in just a few minutes, but again, Gundogan so close to Hansi Flick and Ter Stegen. He's been with him. They're German. These three players are so I think even €100 million bid for Gundogan, the club would not accept it at this point. He's going to be that important. Same with Lewandowski now. That put his future at rest unless a big offer comes in. Lewandowski probably saying he still needs to take a salary reduction, though. Ain't no way in hell he's going next season on 300,000 euros a week. Finney Zahavi, of course, was at Barcelona yesterday, signed the contracts for Hansi Flick. Laporta better been putting something in his ear about Lewandowski's wages, because bloody hell, those supposed to be fixed up. Now, also, as you can see on the right-hand side, Hansi Flick yesterday during his presentation didn't meet a few players, one of them being Frankie de Jong, who is recovering from his injury. He should be, of course, traveling with the Dutch national team very soon for preparations of the Euros. Following this as well, Roger Soldado from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that for both Barcelona and Hansi Flick, de Jong is an untouchable player. And he's kind of been added into the mix of Lewandowski, Gundogan, and Ter Stegen. We'll talk about this again more in his future and his renewal in the next transfer video. But all I can say on de Jong, sign the thing. You want to stay, you like the project, you're a untouchable player, sign the contract. Without signing a contract, you get him the hell booted. Now, also, de Jong was not the only player Hansi Flick met yesterday. He actually met 3 first-team players that we've known of course. One, Frankie de Jong. Second one, Alejandro Balde. Again, Balde was speaking to him in English during the club's, official video. Hansi Flick asked him about, how he was and everything like that. And Balde said, I'm doing well. I should be fully fit for pre-season. Hansi Flick said to him, perfect. We'll see you then. Excited to get started. Excited to get working as well. So there is something, some sort of connection there, hopefully, of course, hoping can turn Balde to as good as, COVID Alphonso Davies. That's what we want to see from Alejandro. So good that he met with him. And again, Balde basically confirming to all of us as well that he'll be 100% ready to go for preseason. Hopefully he doesn't go to the Olympics. And of course, he won't be going to the Euros because he wasn't called up. Now, there is one more first-team player that Hansi Flick did meet, but the club, of course, are trying to hide him, and they haven't even confirmed him being a first-team player. And that's Julian Araujo, who was spotted in the background. Again, I don't know, sometimes the club do this on purpose, sometimes they actually do it completely by accident. But whoever's on the editing team, firstly, the social media team is shite as well with their cringy TikToks for 5-year-olds. They always leak stuff like this. And again, you can clearly see Julian Araujo's, the crappy pink hair that's, needs to be re-dyed. He's there in the background. You can see the skin tone as well. That's clearly 100% him. So he's now in Barcelona following his loan, of course, at Las Palmas, which technically does not end for another month, but he's in the sports city, of course, maybe training, staying fit. I believe he will be called up for Mexico in the Copa America, so stay tuned for that. But again, hopefully he'll be part of the first team next season, again, as coverage and competition for the right back position. And very impressed with the loan at Las Palmas, but of course, Hansi Flick will be the judge of that, and you'll see him in pre-season. And that is it. I want to give you guys my overall thoughts on the appointment of Hansi Flick, a little bit of analysis after everything we've mentioned. Again, the 2 red flags for me, him glazing the squad as it currently stands in his first interview, and secondly, taking this job without knowing the full behind-the-scene backgrounds. Do not be surprised in 1 month when we don't sign anyone in January in the summer. Oh, Hansi Flick is very surprised about the economic situation. He's worried that we can't sign anyone. He thought we could sign at least someone. He's now pessimistic about the season. Do not be surprised to see those reports come out. Now, I've watched the 2 documentaries that Hansi Flick has been involved in over the past few years. I watched the Bayern Munich All or Nothing and the German All or Nothing Amazon Prime documentaries. I didn't watch them fully, of course. I just skip through to see Hansi Flick's body language and see how he coaches the team. He's very, very team-oriented. He really cares about the team chemistry. He's not someone who yells unless it's absolutely necessary as well. He cares so much about the dressing room harmony. Lewandowski is going to be big for that. My God, the glazing that him and Lewandowski did in that Bayern Munich Amazon documentary, madre mia. They almost got a room. It was absolutely crazy. So Lewandowski ain't going nowhere. He will be very, very important, of course, for Hansi Flick. But here's my 3rd red flag. So again, the first red flag, glazing the squad as it currently is. Second red flag, not knowing the current situation of the club economically and sportingly. 3rd red flag for me, his obsession and objection towards the media. Hansi Flick is known to hate the media. Not the people and the journalists, but the system. He hates doing press conferences. He hates doing media work. He hates talking. He hates addressing rumors. I mean, when he was at Bayern Munich and the German national team coach became available following the sacking of Joachim Löw, he was asked basically in every single press conference with Bayern Munich, do you want the Germany job? Are you going to take the Germany job? What's your future looking like? I think his contract was running down. He got so pissed behind the scene. They keep asking me the same questions. I don't want to answer it. Blah, blah, blah. And even Joachim Löw, Thomas Tuchel in the Amazon Prime documentary talked about how Hansi Flick hates the media. Not the people, of course, in the actual media itself, but he hates, doing press conferences, talking to the press, things like that. This man has no idea what he signed up for. The Catalonia media is gonna kill him. If he does not come out playing Pep Guardiola prime football, he's getting absolutely destroyed. One slip up, and once the media comes for him, I am so worried. Not only will the media come for him, this motherfucker can't even speak the language. He is gonna get cooked. He needs to be so cautious on how he portrays the media, how he treats the media, and also how he reacts to the media. Oh my god, that's the one thing that worries me. But the other two red flags about him glazing the squad, him not knowing the situation of the club. If this man gets rinsed by the Catalonia media went for Xavi. The Catalonia media went for Koeman. They've went for Laporta. I've seen the Catalonia media go for everyone. Barring, of course, Messi. They never really went for... They talk about Messi and Dependia and stuff like that. They never went for Messi. They've gone for everyone else. I think they criticized Iniesta, Busquets, Piqué, Dani Alves, Victor Valdez, even Johan Cruyff they went for. They will tear him a new one. He needs to be very careful, and he has to be very assured that he cannot let the media get to his head. You just have to ignore it, like Xavi said. And like Xavi said back in January, February time, the most difficult job in football is the Barcelona job. Not because of, the squad and the expectations and the stature of the club and how big the club is and the job is. That, of course, included the media is absolutely ruthless. In Madrid, they're cruising, they're sailing. If you're winning, they don't really care, to be honest. Of course, if you're losing, they go after you, they kill you, and that gets pretty bad as well. But in Barcelona, you have to win, you have to play well, you have to play perfect football, or else there will be criticism coming in from somewhere. If Xavi is getting it, if, Pep Guardiola, we talked about, Messi, the only one not getting it. Pep Guardiola got criticized a lot. And that's one of the reasons why he left, alongside, of course, the management of the board during that time. He needs to be super careful for Hansi Flick, and that's the one thing I'm very, very worried about for him in this job. But overall, we'll see how things turn out. Of course, Joan Laporta has put all his bets in on Hansi Flick, the way he treated Xavi, of course, the way he sacked him as well. And now he went out, he got his German school after years and years of the media and him talking about it. We'll have to see how things turn out. Am I excited? I mean, I was excited when Koeman came. I was excited when Quique Setién was appointed. I was excited when Valverde was appointed. I was excited when Tata Martino got the job and when Tito Villanova got the job. You're always excited at the beginning, but massive caution for me. I want to see how things turn out, especially in preseason. And again, the summer transfer window is effing massive. If we walk out the summer transfer window, by the way, with no pivot, I'm taking a bullet and putting it right in my mouth. So let's see how things turn out. But again, Laporta has gone all in, and let's see if that all in turns out well or not. Now, one final topic that I want to quickly discuss before I end off this video is, of course, in regards to Xavi. Before Hansi Flick's official announcement took place, the club did confirm that Barcelona and Xavi have reached an agreement to terminate the contract of the coach and his staff, which they had, of course, with the club until the end of the 24-25 season. The club wants to make it very clear they want to officially announce and terminate the contract of Xavi before signing and announcing Hansi Flick. Now, you're probably wondering what agreement was reached. Keep in mind, Barcelona owed Xavi and his coaching staff about 15 to 16 million euros for next season. What has happened is that Xavi has given up his entire salary for next season, which is 11 million euros. I believe that is gross. So, Flick is earning 3 million gross. Xavi was earning 11, so there's some money being saved there from the club. But Xavi has given up all his wages. All he asked for was the 2.5 million euros that he paid out of his own pocket back in 2021 to El Saad in order to terminate his contract and join Barcelona, and the club have agreed. He also asked that his entire coaching staff be paid in full 4 million euros, and the club agreed. So in total, the club spent about 6.5 to 7 million euros to terminate the contract of Xavi, which again, probably should have been 16, 17. They ended up paying 6, 7. So they saved 10 million, of course, mainly from Xavi waiving his entire salary. Again, 2.5 to Xavi and about 4 million to his coaching staff. So his brother, Oscar Hernandez, Sergio Allegri, Ivan Torres, all those people behind the scenes. Of course, each of them get their cut per se. So keep in mind, we spent 7 million euros, give or take, in total to sack Xavi. So wish Xavi, of course, all the best. Quickly on his coaching staff as well, we don't know the future of some of them. Some of them could end up staying. One of them is a big question mark right now is Dr. Ricky Punya. Even San Antonio Sport came out saying the continuity of Dr. Ricky Punya right now is not assured. He was, of course, the direct demand from Xavi. Remember back in, December time, he was adamant he wanted Dr. Ricky Punya to come back. I think he was at some team in the Emirates or something like that, and we'll have to wait and see what happens in regards to his future. But the physical trainer, Ivan Torres, he's gone. He's going to be leaving, of course, alongside Sergio Allegri and Oscar Hernandez. But keep your eyes on the future, of course, of Dr. Ricky Punya. Of course, De La Fuente, the goalkeeping coach, he will probably stay. Dr. Ricky Punya, question mark. Everyone else is going to be leaving. So, of course, all we can do now is to Xavi, after he given up, 11 million euros, so, help the club out, say gracias por todo, and wish him nothing but the best in his future. And no doubt his career and, future at Barcelona has ended. It's just not even a goodbye. This is, of course, a see you later.
Go,